Number 2, it was Gather Team 6. Took Nepal pretty darn quickly, and we're ready to go with those tech issues resolved. Gather Team 6 already completed their attack. 3 points already done with a little bit of time to spare, so not too bad for them. Wanting to set up strong on this defense to stop any further push coming in. Goats, this is their last chance to kind of show that they are able to match Gather Team 6. Give them another shot, moving further to prevent themselves from moving down to that loser's bracket, and it's all going to start right here on King's Row.
I just see them playing safe around this statue, but they will make their move here. Jaru gets really low, but Mixi able to take out Gogo. Killa able to trade out for Yardman is on, and this is a 4 point right now. Timo just doing a defensive stay alive by himself on the counter pin on Jaru, and Jaru will be the one to fall. Echo will follow, and that, barring anything spectacular, should be the point to Groats here.
This is a great tempo flip that we need to see from Groats. They sped run through that point, and a lot of it had to do with sticking that Discord orb onto Jaru and ending up getting that counter pin. Once that Reinhardt is gone, you lose a lot of the stabilization that you have with the Goats composition in general. I want to see Groats move up to this bookstore. Hold this corner like your life depends on it, because you need to be taking as much space as possible, play to your own aggression, and not allow your main tank to fall over like they did last time.
Yeah, Groats right now is crazy in their favor. The grab and the tower already up. Timo really slow. Kyra not quite to fall out of that neck just yet. Being invested by Echoes. Crab for Killa gets eaten by NKZ. We're gonna see our in-crack slow mode engage there, but NKZ's bomb gonna find Killa and Avo. Timo will be the next to fall, and this is gonna be a nice little event here for Crash Team 6.
They're gonna get a little bit more of this defensive hold, but that's come at a big cost, using both the Transcendence and the Sound Barrier simultaneously. This self-destruct Earth Shatter combo that Timo and Shira have coming up is gonna be rather free. There's a lot of pressure onto Jaru here to not only hit or shatter their own, but block what Timo has coming in. Already an aggressive charge outlet.
Finish! Shatter! It's alive! And will follow Big G. Not long for this world, and that is exactly what we wanted to see. Oh,
Jaru had to be blocking that Earth Shatter there, and didn't expect the pin to come in from Timo. Forcing these bubbles early, they just ran out of the cooldowns, lost the overall tempo game in the end. The only advantage that you can take away from that is Jaru is still going to hold on to this Earth Shatter, and the Graviton Surge has been built up. You need to rely on these tank ultimates to help push you through, force out that Transcendence early so that you can make either the Graviton Surge or this Earth Shatter work out, get them a nice hold on the second point.
Shatter here, it hits Killa. Maybe Timo as well. We're gonna see the grab out from Killa, but we'll have to back Skyrim's bomb will be good to kill Yardman who's on. Review is going to take stand out. Echo shortly will follow. The rally did come out from Avo, and that should be the point to be captured for Groats.
And Groats needed that bad. Look how much time they have on the clock. 4.5 minutes just to push it through. They don't even need to, they gotta fully complete this, and with a little bit of time. If they can get this up over a minute or even 2, that would be huge for the further time bank moving into these latter rounds of the match. Groats have been able to snowball this all forward, but this is the time for Gather Team 6. They have the tools to turn this back around. The Sound Barrier, that is unmatched. I need to see this aggressive engage, open them up, give them a chance to hold.
Rally come out from mid in the east. I feel like Yardman is looking for this grab. Will throw it out. Timo will be taking out Jaru. After Jaru will be beat coming out from Gogo. Timo able to drop Yardman is on and will push forward. That Discord on NKZ is scary. Will get him the next probably, and that is another excellent fight for Groats.
It was a bit sloppy though. I would have liked to see that Sound Barrier probably held on to there and gave you a little power to push on through, but now you don't have that towards the latter end of this. This is the last shot right now for this tempo to be stopped. It's going to be a rushed push to this objective. Got the Transcendence to sustain, but this Graviton Surge is truly going to be killer.
Grav comes out as well as the Transcendence. Shatter, Timo, Killa, finds Dan and Coco boots Jaru off the map. We're gonna see the bomb on the cart from NKZ, but it won't matter. It is just now the bomb from Shira. NKZ able to take out Avo, but will. This is excellent from Groats here. Now, wait, I say that. This is GOATS, everyone. We're gonna see the pin able to kill Echo with that impact. And it's just a tank shot. Jar is gonna fall. The Shira eats Yardbanion's grab. NKZ will get demaxed and Yardbanion's will fall. It's just the Lucio left on the cart. And that is an excellent end to an excellent push for Groats.
It was a losing battle. Gathering Team 7 were fighting towards the end there. Groats, they had the momentum on their side. They had the points. The only thing they didn't have were those spawn advantages, which is why we saw that fight go a lot longer than it probably should have. Still 3 minutes, 3 seconds of the clock, over triple what Gathering Team 6 was able to rack up. This is great for Groats coming in. What they need to do now, though, is that they need to put their foot down, set up this brick wall on the defense. They cannot allow themselves to get snowballed like they did on their own attack when we caught the tail end of it. This is the time for them to really show that they can come back, push this to a map number 3 on the defensive side. The one thing I want to keep an eye out on, though, here is that Jaru has really struggled to stay alive in this series just against Timo. There's several factors playing into this, but the major one here is that Discord Orb from reviews, the overall focus fire just to pressure that main tank down where Jaru doesn't even have a choice but to crumble underneath it. We're going to stick with the same support line in the back, but I want to see this main tank player just be slightly more cautious and aware of how this team is playing, because there have been so many occasions where Groats have just absolutely collapsed onto Jaru, forcing these aggressive plays, and they've been playing a reaction game. You cannot be doing that in a GOATS composition such as this, Fletch. You need to be the one taking that initiative, choosing when these fights are being placed, because you're automatically putting yourself at a disadvantage if you're playing this reactionary style.
We're gonna see them take the opposite side of the statue here on this attack here, but Timo and the rest of Groats is just going to single out Dan, and that is just gonna be that fight over immediately. Already 100 charge for Killa, and that was ugly.
That was instantly Dan getting capitalized on. Absolutely destroyed. You have one more push left right now if you are moving Team 7. If you're going to get out there, you just need to push aggressive. Jaru has this Earth Shatter. Timo likely going to be expecting that and arguably going to get the match here. This is Jaru's time to shine. You have the rally on your side. You need to make it count.
Now we're going to see them walk in with the rally. The beat comes out from an Echo, but both shatters are dropped. But Jaru is big to get hit 4. We're going to see the beat and the grab come out from Killa. Timo able to clean up Dan, and it is just Yardbanion's by himself on the point. The beat, it's just over. This attack will not be anything for Gathering Team 6.
That is huge for Groats, Clutch. That is huge. They needed this one bad. They put themselves in a lose-draw situation, guaranteeing, or a win-draw situation, guaranteeing that we will move on to a map number 3 and even potentially a 4th. This was a point where it started to look really sloppy for Gathering Team 6. There were several occasions where Dan just went down first because he was playing aggressive. I get it. Brigida's absolutely overpowered when the GOATS was actually a thing. But right now, Brigida is still not Reinhardt, people. You don't have that same health pool. And whether you accredit that to Dan and Baby being more of a flex DPS player coming in to play this role, or any other factors, whatever it may be, that was just Groats looking better in this composition. They built up the ultimates faster as a result of winning those fights. Just that tempo was totally flipped in their favor. Killa had a lovely Graviton Surge towards the end, allowing that final little piece of focus fire to come into play. Nobody could get to the objective, and they locked it down hard. They've proven they can defend, they've proven they can attack, and we just haven't seen that same potential from Gathering Team 7 on the GOATS map of all GOATS map here in Kings Row. 3 minutes, 3 seconds to set down this defense, to push this to at least a draw, maybe another match point. Moving on forwards, we need to see more of this potential from Gathering Team 7. We know that they have the star power, but just these components, they aren't working together as well as they possibly could be right now. Teemo has been empowered so much that Jaru can compete on the opposite side, and we're going to start to see that effect come into play around this match.
You're going to see both bubbles now out for Killa. He is at 90 charge, and that is scary. And they're trying to focus Zand again, but will be able to keep him alive for now. Refuse throwing in that volley around the statue. Teemo will get counterpinned, but Jaru looking really low. Jaru will get taken down as well as Zand. The beat out from Echo. Shira's mech will be dispatched. Beat comes in from Gogo. The grab onto Yardman Yazan, but hit more people, did not get the same value, and this is dire. And that looks like it'll be GOATS taking us to map 3.
Map number 3, it is going to come out to GOATS. Really showed that they had control of the tempo in that series. If I didn't see map number 1. If I didn't know the score right now, I would have assumed that GOATS won this map. Overall, their aggression, it was on point. Jaru just looked lost at some points in this series. Teemo was seriously pinning off cooldown, which you don't see a whole lot with Reinhardt's. You often no, I'm buying the pin button. That wasn't the case here, and especially in GOATS when you need to be taking these initiatives. While Teemo's was one or another, it offered some sort of distraction. Maybe you forced a bubble from landing a pin onto Jaru, or you just got that extra damage in. You saw where that coordination was coming into play, and how all of those different factors played out. The micro game seriously was playing off into their favor. I can't necessarily say the same in terms of how that ultimate economy was being managed, but in terms of that micro play, that was GOATS all the way through that matchup. And when we look into our further maps down the line, Fletch, Route 66 appears to be the play here, which typically you don't think of that as a GOATS map. You're looking at, or maybe with the exception of third point, you're thinking, all right, this is where we want to poke. We want to bunker down to get that extra strategy in. But that is just not what these heroes allow the game to be played as.
Imagine Winston, though. Get to see some
that's
floats,
true.
maybe?
That's true.
So, I don't know. No promises or anything like that, but it would be kind of fun to see. Throughout the tournament, we've only seen the Reinhardt.
True.
So I would be kind of excited to see if any of these teams are gonna be able to, take full advantage of the other main tank that's in rotation, being the Winston. You know, a lot more mobility. Stronger potential dives onto the back line. With the Diva. So I'm just curious if that's their plan, because there is a lot of high ground, especially on point B, and a little bit on point A, but it's not as powerful. So that's maybe what they're going for, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And that does bring up an interesting point, because Jaru, well known for the Reinhardt, also has the Winston under their hero pool. They did not get to choose whether to attack or defend. That was the choice of GOATS, who have opted for that defense, not too surprisingly. And, if this is something that is actually pulled out, I want to see where Teemo wants to take this as well. Is this where the Winston comes into play for them as well? Teemo also has the Winston in their hero pool in terms of how we've actually been playing this, but as of now, it's just going to be those same 6 heroes, the Zenyatta and the Reinhardt, primarily the mainstays. I'm not too shocked by that. On the other side, we're seeing the same thing teased, but we're not going to say anything until those attack doors actually come out and opening. What I'm curious most about, though, is where are these fights going to be taken? Are they going to go for a close spawn hold here? Because this seriously has the potential to come out with, and we're going to be in a situation where the blue team here, GOATS, wants to hold up close to kind of take this advantage, because if you give that much space away and you force to fight on this corner, that's going to be a huge opportunity for their opponents on the attack. really come out and snipe them out. This is the spawn hold I want to see this locked down. The main goal of this here is keep reviews alive. The second reviews gets caught out and spotted, your hold is over. That is done.
Yeah, we're gonna see. The Lucios look like they're fighting on top of that train right now, but Shira's mech discorded taken out. And Teemo did actually find Jaru with the Fire Strike. Echo taking Teemo out, but not, or I guess just after Tila does break them. Yardman Yazan able to take Tila down in the Zarya matchup, and Jaru will also fall. This is pretty even, but definitely, you know, obviously the Jaru Reviews and Gogo able to take out their counterparts. But that will be a fight towards, I can't even remember, I'm sorry.
It is all good. Gathering Team 6, as soon as they got that pick off onto Teemo, that spawn hold was as good as done. The spawns are light years away in comparison to that of the attackers, so the defenders they're going to be able to play on top of this gas station here, which, interestingly enough, or actually smartly enough, Gathering Team 7 is going to meet them there, rally and play. They're going to have the advantage, but locked up and grabbed.
Grabs out. Able to take out Jaru before getting any value out of that grab. Both rallies, but only Refuses Transcendence came out. And is getting hard focus once again. But somehow stays alive, but not Gogo. NKZ taking him down with the micro missile. We're gonna see Killa take refuge in the gas station, but will fall. Transcendence comes out from Mixi, and that will keep his team alive. Shira's bomb, comes out for Remech, but the beat out from Echo to make his team a little more durable. Go in. Shira's mech will fall once again, and this should be a point A capture for Gather Team 6.
The fact that they managed to do that with only the Transcendence and the Sound Barrier really says something about how and where these fights are being taken. Gogo, yeah, you have the Sound Barrier, but if you don't match the extra sustain that's being pulled out, that is where you're going to fall over. And I have a feeling this is why the Zenyatas have been such a prominent pick. That Transcendence alone is like a second life. Anybody that you have instantly healed back up to full HP. You're starting this fight over. You get a chance to regain those cooldowns. But engaging here, you don't have those tools.
The shatter from Jaru gets blocked by Teemo, and yeah, we'll get back, but Yardman is on, grab comes out. Teemo able to find Jaru with the Fire Strike while in the grab. And now that is a sign for Groat to just walk in. Dan getting really, really low, but able to just back around the corner, stay alive. Killa also really low. Mixi taking down Teemo with those orbs. Grab comes out. Countered with the Transcendence. Beat from Gogo will hit 515. Killa taking down Dan. And this is a really, really tough fight for Gather Team 6. But it looks like they're just gonna force Groat back just a little bit.
They're gonna force him back. I like that they allowed the payload to be pushed up just enough for those doors to close, because look, now they're all sitting ducks back with their shadow.
Shatter hits in grab out from Yardman Yazan, and he hits, I think that's 5 people. Jaru able to swing through and cleave through 3 people. Dan cleaning up reviews, but Teemo gets 2 with the pin?
Barriers.
Oh no.
Oh, I was like, hold on, so I'm not a huge fan of it either. I mean, there's a certain method to the madness that is happening on your screens, I promise. Often you'll see, for example, the Transcendence counteracts the grab, the Sound Barrier typically for the Diva Bomb or an Earth Shatter that the Reinhardt might not have been able to capture. Echo, by no means, really needed that Sound Barrier at the end here, and that's gonna make them suffer unless Jaru is able to do something big here.
Is the bomb gonna kill Echo? Shatter out from Jaru. He's gonna find 2 with the pin. Swing to kill Killa. The grab did come out from Killa, but the Transcendence from Mixi to keep his team alive. That looks like Refuse will go. Not able to stop the pin. Will go off the map, but with Jaru in tow. So, you know,
I love that. I mean, hey, you know what? It isn't just when you're with Reinhardt, you're able to play, you get to stop the pin. Guess what? You don't get to do that in this patch. Too bad, so sad. No team has a Reinhardt. There's that self-destruct combo, but they're not even gonna get the touch. What a play to come
What a
out there,
grab.
Fletch. That is huge from
What a
Killa.
grab.
Might have lost their life in the from Yardman Yazan. Might have lost their life in the process, but being able just to push that payload, get that extra time bank is massive, denying any chance of recontestment. One could argue that this third point of Route 66, this is going to be the toughest for them to push through. We're returning to that same territory that Kings Row really offered and forcing a wraparound behind through the doorway, but this is going to be tricky with the positioning.
Shatter out. Will. Oh my god, I think Jaru got stunned by the shield dash. So hits 3. Timo does with the shatter. Kills Mixi. But that is a vent trade. Jaru will fall and in theory Dan will fall. Yarbin does take Timo out. But we're gonna see Echo just try and use Vets to stay alive. Will not. And that will be a fight for Brooks here.
I love that rotation from the behind. That was unexpected by all means. But the nice thing is the discipline was even better from the attackers. Look at the ultimate economy that they have to work with right now. There's so little to even match that. If this fight is taken quickly, this is 100% be going in the way of the Gathering.
Timo got focused out, he got booked in. The grab comes out with the transcendence to counter it. What a move. Pyro's bomb goes in. NKD taking out reviews with that micro missile. But Killa ult in his own left click, right click, sorry. And wow, that was a beautiful play by, I think, Echo to solo out Timo.
Yeah, this is what we wanted to see from the attackers here. Gathering Team 6, they came in with the ultimate advantage. They won the fight. Great, but they ended up only using the Transcendence to get it done, so they're pushing their advantage in a further fight down the line, but they need to be able to shoot through these support ultimates first, bait them out, so they actually have a chance of finding the eliminations.
Both beats are out. Jaru's shatter gonna hit Able, but that's it. Shira's is D-Max. Jaru really low, will fall. We're gonna see Yardman Yazan's grab come out, and NKZ's bomb will capitalize on it, but this is just a trade for trade fight right now. Both teams down a few. Gonna hit 2 with the shatter is Timo. Reviews cleans up Echo, and this should be a fight for Ghost. We're gonna see Jaru getting, or we did see Jaru getting crushed there. Will back out now.
Yeah, Jaru fell down early in that fight, so the Earth Shatter rather free from Timo, just to kind of push them back. The nice thing is that the attackers just had to do more of a soft reset before they're ready to come back in and engage. They know that this Graviton Surge is coming. They can weather the storm with that Transcendence from Mixi's grab. But from further on in this fight, I want to see them try to push, get onto that Brigitte from Avo, who's been causing so much trouble for them in the back.
Grab comes out, able to stay alive because of the Transcendence, but we'll get pinned. Now Jaru has this shatter. The Transcendence out from reviews to keep his team alive without their Zarya. We're gonna see the rally come out. The shatter for Timo gonna hit 3 people. And do they have time?
No, that's it. There's really no touch to come back through here. The Diva wanted to get there. NKZ just a couple meters short though. Not gonna be able to get that one back in. Overall, not a bad push from Gathering Team 6. I mentioned at the beginning that this last point, that is going to be the hardest to push through on 66. The fact that they made such quick work of point A and point B shows that they have the potential to kind of hold this back on the defense. But once again, I'm going to bring up that same point. While you can set the pace of your own on the attack, if you can't replicate your same stronghold on the defense, it's going to mean absolutely nothing here. I have not been given a lot of times where Timo has, for the most part, found the better of Jaru. This has been Timo winning out that Reinhardt duel a lot more because they have that extra focus fire onto the shield, and overall have been looking more coordinated in terms of the ultimate usage. I'm usually pretty picky about how that economy actually ends up being utilized, but overall there aren't these huge major points where I'm like, oh, that's really concerning, other than like that one sound barrier from Echo back on point B. So both of these teams, they have a relatively good understanding of where these larger abilities seem to use. Where I find them lacking, however, is in this macro play. When you don't have these ultimates, how are you using these cooldowns? Are you watching for these Zarya bubbles, these speed boosts, that shield bash? There's so many small, intricate pieces that put the microplay under quite literally, a microscope to see where are these small areas breaking off and how are they affecting the team. I've just simply seen better usage of the bubbles from Keela so far, and Yardman John hasn't been able to maintain as much charge, and as a result, you don't have the same amount of damage here. Fighting through this same spawn hold that Groats had put your other opponents at the mercy of here, they need to know how to figure it out. Look for the Zenyatta, the vulnerable player of this team, run him over to break through.
You're gonna see both bubbles out for Killa. They're just gonna, Groats is just gonna back up here a little bit, take this other flank route. Killa really low, did not have those bubbles to keep himself alive. Yardman Yazan with 2. NKZ with 2 of his own. Jaru taking out Avo, and that's unfortunate for Shira, I'm gonna be honest.
You're a baby diva. It's kind of part in the contract where if you're out of mech, you're gonna get staggered. Be ready for it. This is the point that I wanted to see though, is that since you have that stagger, you had the aggressive advantage. Look at the difference between ult charge of Jaru and Teemo right now. That is them showing that they are taking the initiative. They're holding this close hold. They're not letting your opponents get into position. They're just taking the fight to them.
NKZ's bomb does find Gogo, but not before he falls for a fuse. So they're just gonna play safe around this cart a little bit. Yardman Yazan does have this Graviton Surge, so we'll see what he can do with that. Just throwing in these right clicks. Teemo really low. Gonna have to use this Transcendence a little early. Killa with 2. The beat comes out from Gogo, and this looks really, really good for Groats on the attack here.
It looked good the second that Echo went down. Without Echo, you don't have that speed boost. You don't have that sound barrier, which would have been very helpful in that last fight. The only great thing that I can pull from this now is there aren't really any major defensive ultimates coming out from the attackers. Groats, maybe you can rely on a rally, but you're looking at a lot more healing from both a sound barrier and a transcendence that you're just simply not going to get in one engagement if this goes long.
Shatter hits 3. Grab out from Killa. That bomb is massive for Shira. The beat was a little bit too early. We're gonna see Refuse cleaning up his counterpart. I believe it's probably Echo on the point, just trying to contest a little bit. Will leave, and this should be a point A capture maybe? No, they're gonna be close enough to retouch, it looks like.
They have the potential to retouch if they want to, and it looks like they wanted to take the engage. Jaru pins onto the payload, straight out of the cart. But the healing, the transcendence, it didn't get there in time. Now you don't have a main tank. They have to try to fight through this one-on-one. A trade out. Yeah, it has to be enough here, Fletch.
NKZ demeched. I don't think it is enough. Dan will fall 0.4 meters from the checkpoint. Teemo has the shatter, but the grab is massive. NKZ's mech will be dispatched, and Jaru with the shield dash, they're gonna cap A.
We're gonna go ahead, get that A capture. I mean, I applaud the last-ditch effort to come in, but at the same time, you need to look up at the top left of your screen and see where those check marks are, what resources were invested. If you're gonna take a push like that and not win it, you need to at least force some of these major abilities out. That didn't happen at all. Nearly 5 ultimates on the board for Groats as they're coming in, rounding the second corner, and all they're banking on right now is Yardman Razan, who has this Graviton Surge to set up a combo with NKZ, and it's gotta be massive if they want to win this fight out.
You're gonna see the pin onto Dan. Yardman Yazan didn't have the charge. The beat just shredded through with the help of that Discord orb and the shatter. And Groats is just imposing their will right now.
Yeah, the discipline was just better from Groats there. That's all I gotta say. I mean, you come in just use the rally and Earth Shatter to win that out. I mean, Echo tried their best, but when you're down players like that in a composition like GOATS, it is not super likely that you're gonna come back from losing a player almost right off the bat. So that was something that I didn't want to see, and now they're going to be taking another fight here. Fletch, this is another one of those points that I'm like, is this going to work out for them? Or are you forcing those abilities to get on the point? You got to be able to touch.
Yardman Yazan able to get 2 with the grab. NKZ helping out with the bomb. Gonna demech Shira. Mikji taking down the mirror, and this is gonna be a nice little hold here with just about 100 seconds on the clock here.
See, this is the fight that I want these taken back on the first point here. If you're going to force these out, great, win the fight, move on. But Teemo and Killa have been holding on to their ultimates for quite some time now, and now it's going to be a prime opportunity to use those with neither a sound barrier or transcendence available on the side of the defenders. Killa, look at them right now. They are looking to set this grab up, make it big so they can just wrap up the second point in a flash.
Yeah, the fight hasn't even started, and he's already 80 charge. He gets shattered,
though.
The grab comes out. Jaru, they looked at single him out, and he would fall. Teemo with the shatter kills Yardman Yazan. The fire strike through Dan, and that was another well thought out fight from Groats to cap here.
I'd 100% agree. That was a point that Killa, yeah, they lost their life to an Earth Shatter, but in the end, you get enough players in that grab where you burn through the shield of Jaru, and Teemo can come in, get the free ultimate of their own, kind of counteracts that. But the problem is you're taking these fights a lot sooner than you want. Look at the aggression from Gather Team 6.
Teemo's gonna fall. And they now, looks like they want Avo here. And will survive, but not for long, as Gogo and Avo and Reviews, that's the support line. Killa falls, and yeah, that was intelligent from Gather Team 6 there.
Yeah. And poor Teemo, that guy just got run over, just stampeded, honestly, by 6 of the Gathering Team 6 players. That's just rough. That's rough, man. That's all I gotta say to you. They're fighting this like we're still playing second point. That is how aggressive that Jaru and their team are playing, but now it's gonna start to get punished.
Man! Shatter comes out and gets his bomb kills too, though. Oh my goodness! This fight on the high ground is just Killa by himself. Mixi with the final blow. Oh my goodness!
NKZ became the hero of that fight. You got the self-destruct out. You're allowing this spawn hold to continue. Already only a minute left on the clock here, but these are the ultimates that have been waiting to build up growth. They've had these in the bank for a while. Time to use them.
He comes out from Gogo and EXO as well. The grab out from Killa. Able to take out Yardman Yazan, but not before Teemo falls once again. The rallies looks like they came out from both sides here. And Dan will fall to the micro missiles. The shatter comes out from Jaru. The pin taking out Gogo. Jaru will fall. And this should be a fight finally going in the way of growth.
They're going to get that fight win. Only 20 seconds on the clock here. This next fight, they need to come out on top of it if they want to move on through this upper bracket here. Both of these teams, they're fighting hard to get that last spot. Teemo with an Earthshatter, Jaru with nothing. If Teemo can find the better of Jaru like they've been doing all match with this Earthshatter, that could just be game over here. Yardman Yazan and NKZ, they have a combo to wrap this up as well. But if Teemo, they missed the Earthshatter, but Jaru slow us down!
Jaru falls, the bubble, Shatter gets blocked by the bubble. Grab comes out from Yardman Yazan, but it's not enough. He walks forward with that Discord on him, no bubbles. It's just NKZ. Groats will take the series 2-1. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Groats? Yeah, that was one heck of a match played by Groats there at the tail end. They had a rough start here on the beginning, but in the end, it really showed that they are the team that is the more coordinated one, and they really knew how to play around these cooldowns, more specifically, that shield of Jaru. I've said it time and time again. If you're putting that much pressure onto a main tank that you know isn't going to be healed up in time, that's a huge factor for you to just come out, pour your resources onto. That is probably one of the trickiest parts of playing a GOATS composition, is that you are forced to fight through all of the chaos. Sometimes, yeah, it's gonna hurt your eyes. Yeah, it makes you a little dizzy with all of the different colors, particle effects, and even the slow-mo at times. It gets a little ridiculous. But if you're able to manage through that chaos, somewhat put it under control, get a wrap on it, and more specifically, find a point of focus. Get yourself in a position where you're able to see clearly what your win condition is going to be. And in this case, it was to help focus down Jaru, get through that main point, and just run over the rest of the team from there. While there were a lot of highlights coming in from Gather Team 6, it just wasn't really enough to have these small shines of light with their aggressive plays. to counteract the more consistent play style that their opponents pulled out. Goats are going to be the victors, moving on to the winners semis, I believe, from this point on. So they're still going to have that opportunity to move on, and a losers bracket below to kind of cushion them through. On the other side, it's going to be a grueling battle for Gather Team 6 to fight their way through that losers bracket and even have a chance of making it back to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm still catching my breath after that last fight. That was an absolutely ridiculous series. I know we only caught the latter half of it, but the way that Groats was able to put it together after losing on King's Row,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's just that's what it's about, right? Is that you're able to come back from the losses and learn from them, and you're able to you know, make a make the game yours, and that's exactly what Groats did. They pressed the issue the entire for the entirety of Route 66, and I just want to like, I know I said it when it happened, but that Zarya bubble to block the shatter in that very last fight, like, that was, you know, that was awesome. But I think we are gonna head to a break. We are going to be back in just a few minutes with our next series. I'm not 100% sure who we're going to be broadcasting next, but stick around and we will be back with some more CGL Goats action.
Inside here, you know, you get an insight and you know something, you know, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, you know. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the presentation of the CGL PC GOATS Tournament. I'm back in the studio to try hard Ray, continuing this presentation. I'm replacing Tiny Shiny in here with In the Fletch. How the matches been? Catch me up.
It was a really close last match between Gather Team 6 and Groats, who we actually do have again for this match. So I'm looking forward to it. Groats put on a really good performance. As a team, honestly. They looked way more aggressive and well more oiled, way more oiled, well-oiled machine, I'll say. They looked really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Stop Skipping Streams Scrims is gonna do here.
Yeah, that's good to hear. As we mentioned, we are following Groats through into the winter semifinals. As we mentioned, their opponents are Stop Skipping Scrims, and it has just been amazing to see this tournament so far. I'm excited. We do have that first map in for you guys. I wasn't sure who the higher seed was in this case, but they have picked Nepal.
Yeah, I mean, we also had Nepal last match. We didn't really get to cast it because of some technical issues, but Groats did win their Nepal 2-0 in their last match. I don't have any information on Triple S, but you know, they're here in the winter semis for a reason, so I'm sure that they're looking pretty good. But Groats did win pretty easily on their Nepal 2-0. So I'm looking forward to seeing, if they can repeat their success from their last match in this one.
Yeah, I kind of like to think Nepal. Whenever I talk about it in the area of like non goats when it's just regular Overwatch 5v5, I always say that Brawl's pretty good on goats on every map except Sanctum, just because the amount of space you have to play a hit scan and more poke style compositions tend to be better. But when you're doing goats v goats, I think basically when you're forced to play this style of play, I think when you get to Sanctum, it can be pretty good just because you have just long corridors that you're going to be going down anyway. Has a lot of close chokeholds you can hold very easily. So I think this map is going to lend itself really well to this goat style.
Yeah, I remember yesterday I was casting one of the EU console matches, and the the two teams came in, went opposite directions, and circled around the point as like kind of a yin yang thing for about 30 seconds before they actually met head to head. So it's a lot of fun seeing what these teams are having to relearn to play goats on these maps.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. And like I mentioned, goats isn't a thing we do all the time. Roll lock exists, so when these tournaments come up, it's not like you have a team who's like, all we do is this. So we're so used to it. 6v6 has not been a thing for we're coming up on a year here soon. So like you mentioned, some teams have to relearn like, oh yeah, so goats is all about that ability rotation between the Rhine Shield, the Zarya stepping up with the bubbles, the Diva using the defense matrix. I mean, it's a lot of like X leads to Y leads to Z, and you just keep rotating that back and forth.
Yeah, and it's looking like we're going to get this tried and true goats composition with the Zenyatta. Not much difference has been played in that support position, and I don't think any difference in the main tank. Obviously that Winston being an option. Panda with the rollout to get to the point so fast. They're just gonna fight around this pillar here a little bit. Panda backing out. It will be Skitza, the first to fall. Timo with that Fire Strike. Bubble out from Thirst, going Timo again with the Fire Strike. Thirst able to make have some sort of answer, killing Avo, but it won't be enough, and that's gonna be the first fight for the first fight. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. And for Groats, that was just really impressive. The first target that's always so key to pick off on an enemy team is the Brig, and that was the first person they got immediately. So Groats has a good fundamental idea of who your target should be at the end of the day. So if you're Skitza, you got to be extremely careful. You got to position yourself well. I mean, you have to be close enough to be able to swing, but you can't be so close to where you get yourself picked off like that.
That was a nice little call out by Willie, but the Shatter gonna hit Jake Sart. I don't know how to pronounce that name, man. We're gonna see a bunch of these ults come out. The Transcendent, the bomb from Shira, and it's looking like it's gonna stay in control of Groats right now. Shira eats Thirst, grab. Killa able to drop the Reinhardt. Skitza will fall able with 2. And Shira cleaning up Thirst for Groats once again.
Shira is ridiculous in the Fletcher. I was casting this EU PC yesterday, and they ate about 2 grabs yesterday alone in their 2-map series. So they're continuing their dominance once again. As we come into this next fight for Stop Skipping Scrims, they're going to have the Diva Bomb and that Shatter online. Groats are going to have to be on the ready with that sound barrier.
Bomb in from Willie. Will find Go-Go. Killa will also fall to Caesar, I'm assuming is what his name is. And the pin onto Willie. Panda looking really, really unhealthy, but Ava will be the one to fall. Reviews falling to the micro missiles, and this should be a fight win and point flip for Stop Skipping Scrims.
They did get it to roughly 90%, so they're looking in a really good position. They're just going to have to win one more fight. I was a little surprised that Gogo didn't use that sound barrier during the bomb, but I digress. They get to come back. They're going to have that for this fight, and they're getting really close. Killa is to this Graviton Surge, so I think that could be the nail in the coffin for Groats.
Timo wants this Shatter right now, so we're going to see the rally come out from Skitza in anticipation. We're going to see the beat from Gogo to initiate a bubble. Willie eats Killa's grab. Shatter comes out and it hits Moids and Thirst, but the counter Shatter from Caesar. Caesar able to take out Ava with the pin. This is looking very, very good for Stop Skipping Scrims right now, as Thirst and Moids going to clean up Shira careening off the map of their own accord, and that will be another clean fight.
And the worst part about that team fight, Lost Fletch, is you used your Transcendence, and Thirst still has his Graviton Surge in their back pocket. So the only ultimate you can even think about using in response to this is the Rally, but the Rally is a build-up ultimate. So you're going to have to be thinking, okay, this grab's going to be coming in a couple seconds. Pop the Rally early to try and survive it.
And you will see Able pop the grab, or Rally, sorry, but grab does come out from Thirst, and Willie's able to find, with the help of the grab reviews with bomb. Shatter comes out, hit, I think 2 or 3 there, and it's just gonna be a back out here. Wait, no, Timo able to kill Skitza with the pin. Panda really, really low, and so is Caesar. Caesar falls because Timo pinned him, and Skyro was able to help before it even finished. He has the Shatter, but won't even need it. 99% for Stop Skipping Scrims. Gonna see the Transcendence come out from Moids. Beat from Panda to try and keep this fight alive, but Reviews will take his counterpart down and cut him to size. These are able to take Timo out himself. Really didn't have bomb. 98 to bomb when he got demech. The grab from Killa finds 3. Only 10% left, and Killa will take out Caesar, and that is going to be the point and the map for Groats.
And once again, the nail in the coffin for Stop Skipping Scrims was Skitza got caught out and picked early. You cannot allow that to happen if you're the Brig of your team. I think they probably would have won that map because they were backing out, as you mentioned. And then you're like, wait, what? They got Skitza, and they were able to move in, and they just rode that momentum to their victory. If you're Skitza, you got to be way more careful about that. You cannot allow that to continue to happen.
Yeah, Tiny was talking about it in our last match, but you'll have to excuse me. I can't remember who it was. But it was on the side of Gather Team 6. Their Brig got it was Dan. It was Dan. Dan kept getting focused out so early, and the punishment onto the Brigs was what led Groats to their victory. But we're gonna see them taking the side of the staircase here. That's gonna be Panda almost with the boot, but Go with 2 of his own. That's so massive, and that's already 40% to the beat. Killa and Reviews. Thirst takes Go out with him, but Groats, oh my goodness, you're
That's
seeing
70%.
the
70% to the beat. That is ridiculous.
you're seeing the effects of not having that that tank passive anymore. Not even Reinhardt does.
Yeah, I'm really surprised the teams are electing to fight over there, especially with the skill of these Lucio players. And, I mean, maybe they just forget you don't have that passive anymore, and it really hurt them so bad as now we're looking to another fight, but we've already found bodies.
The Grab comes out from Kila. We'll find 3. The D-Mech onto Willie. The kill onto Thirst. Willie will fall to the Fire Strike, and that's another clean fight with the rally and the Grab invested.
And this has been one of the strong suits of Groats as a team in general, is their ultimate rotation is so superb. They win that fight with just Grab and Rally, so now they get to go to this next fight, and I bet you they'll only commit like 2 to 3 ultimates. They're very good at conserving.
On the Moises, the Shatter gonna come out. I don't think it hit anyone. Thirst hits the Grab, but the Shatter from Caesar hits 5. But the Transcendence from Reviews keeps his team alive. Gonna see the bomb come out from Willie's. Won't find anything. Just gonna see Groats backing up onto the point. The bomb from Shira. Out Timo gets the pin. Panda found a boot, but it's not enough. That's gonna be 3 for Groats. The Grab onto Thirst. He doesn't have his stealth bubble anymore. You don't have that double bubble to protect yourself like that anymore. And that will be 80% for Groats.
You know, that's one of the things I forget about Zarya coming into GOATs. I always have to remind myself when I first start recasting GOATs, they don't have that double bubble. It's 1 for 1, just like the old Zarya. So that can be very tough, especially if you've been a Zarya player. And Overwatch 2 is a big counter.
Get Killa taking out 2 of the supports and Caesar. This map is over. It's going to be Groats 2-0 in a dominant fashion on Sanctum.
Oh, that was ridiculous, but that just came down to a better team playing, a better understanding out of Groats, and Go set it all up as we're gonna see this beautiful boop coming out of him to get 2. Oh, I guess that's not the play of the game. I really that's what
No,
it
it
was
is.
gonna
It
be.
is. It is. It is.
Oh, he did get a bubble. Okay, it was over there. Okay. Wow, that is insane, man. But yeah, that momentum early in the match to get those 2 off the edge really set things up for Groats, and then they just rotated their ultimates so well. I mean, even in that last fight where I said, oh, they'll probably only use 2 or 3 here. They used a lot, but they're doing it in response to the other team committing as many ultimates. They're never going to overcommit themselves, so they're just they just have a better understanding of this rotation.
Yeah, and I mean, not only did they rotate their ults better, they just used them better. Timo consistently finding 3, 4, 5 people with Shatter.
Yep.
Killa constantly picking out Panda, who can only use the 1 bubble on themselves with Grav. It's just they're using their ultimates in the most optimal way that they possibly can, and that is what led them to be so dominant on that map. Now we do have our next map coming in. We are heading to California. It's gonna be Hollywood.
We go from the quaint mountains of Nepal, and now we're going to the glamorous cities of California, as you mentioned, Hollywood. I'm excited. I don't know. I haven't been casting this entire weekend. I don't know if we've seen Winston peek its head at all, but this is the type of map where you might see it happen. I still think it's going to be Rhine, but you know, the two maps I think, I mean, of the hybrid maps, this or Numbani is where I would think maybe Winston comes in, and then Dorado on Escort. But I digress. It just opens up that opportunity, but I doubt it. I'm just excited
Yeah.
to be going to this map. I love the nighttime version of this map. It's amazing.
Yeah, you say I'm excited to be going to this map, and I can't agree more because I'm if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the first times a team has opted to not go to King's Row when it
Oh, you're right.
came
That's a good
to
point. I didn't
the
even think about
hybrid.
that.
So this might be the first non-Kings Row hybrid map that we've gotten all tournament.
Yeah,
So
I was
at least
actually
it's the first one that I've casted.
Yeah, I was actually saying on stream yesterday with Sam and Tiny. I was just like, we were talking about betting all our money on like 99% of these hybrid maps being Kings Row, and yeah, this is the first one I've seen that isn't Kings Row. So it's always great to see. But as we look into the matchups, there's going to be no Winston in play. It's all going to be just classic goats with the Zenyatta. So again, it's all just going to be about how these teams play within themselves in this competition. Skitza already almost went down to that fire strike ult fire from the Zarya and Reinhardt.
Yeah, you get really low, able to survive there, but 50% charge for Thirst immediately. And wow, already building up this charge so fast. Killa has to drop from the high ground, but it will be Caesar that's the first to fall. Killa finds Caesar. Teemo on the Thirst with that pin, and Teemo cleaving through at Triple S right now, walking into the spawn with just the utmost, you know, they want to show out right now.
Yeah, keep in mind for stop skipping scrims because of the format until we get to Final Four. This is a first to
Willie,
two, so their
Willie
backs
got
are
focused
against.
out.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What is this?
Killa with the grab. I don't know if you saw what happened, but both divas flew up to that mega at the top of that staircase, but Willie's didn't notice Shira. So he knew that Shira was there, but Shira didn't know that he was there, and the entirety of Groats just walked up that staircase and got rid of his mech.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. As you never see a flanking Zarya every day, but this is just touch Spawn's door challenge. But like I said, stop skipping scrims has to find an answer. If they lose this map clutch, they are going to the losers bracket. They cannot afford to let that happen.
I mean, it's not looking great right now. Caesar already half HP. Once again, the shatter out. Caesar falls. Willie, I don't think Caesar even got hit by the shatter. I think it was only Willie, but it doesn't matter without that Reinhardt, that centerpiece. The grab, straight up in the air. The ultimate BM hits the top of the theater.
There's no way that just happened. There's no way.
Caesar, what is this? Oh my goodness, Caesar just keeps dying.
It just feels like the team of Groats are just like a pack of wolves. They have sensed blood in the air, and they are just finding their targets and all tearing them to shreds one by one as a Diva Bomb gets thrown out, but the grab each too!
It's the bomb, and Caesar gets stunned out of Shatter! Shira eats the grab, sorry. What is happening? This is the worst case scenario for stop skipping scrims.
They are completely backing up, however, and because they lost, I can't tell who that is, but they've lost someone in the fight, so they have to back up.
Panda beats the beat already gone for Panda. Transcendence out for reviews. Thirst does not have this grab right now. The shatter comes out, hits Thirst. Thirst is gone. I didn't see who Teemo's shatter hit, or sorry, Caesar's, but it won't matter because he dies again. I'm pretty sure Caesar has at least 5 deaths right now. It hasn't even been 4 minutes.
This is insane. I mean, the big thing was when they backed up and picks started going back and forth, the big deal was Groats in the midst of all that were able to take out Thirst, and that was all their damage they had. Zarya is the big damage dealer of this composition, and she was out of the fight. So then Groats were able to just clean up Keela again. Look at this.
They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't. It looks like it's Lucio in the Reinhardt. Caesar will fall first again. The 6th time the grab comes out. It doesn't matter. Thirst is one shot. Gitsa is low. What is happening? It's just the D.Va and the Lucio on the point right now. Panda trying to stay alive. We see Zyra's bomb enter the fray, but it's just fireworks over Hollywood. What a dominant hold from Groats.
Yeah, it felt like you mentioned, that D.Va bomb felt like victory, just a light show being thrown over Hollywood, because they just had what it was an incredible, dominating first point hold. I've seen first point holds in my lifetime as a caster. This was a different level. This was something else, man. Just, I mean, it says something that you see a player grab the top of like the pillar. Like they're like, I don't even need this grab.
And still win the next fight.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need this stinking grab. I'm still gonna win anyway.
The only time I've ever seen anybody hold that dominantly before was actually just yesterday when MME Dive held. Who was it? Oh, who did they play yesterday? I don't know. It was in the round robins, but on King's Row, they absolutely just dominated and walked into the spawn. And the same thing for Groats here. That was just ridiculous.
Go Winston, Groats. You won't do it. You won't go Winston and still win it.
Come on, Timo. Come on, Timo. Wait, Keela's going Reinhardt! They're switching up the tank line!
Wow. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay. Aw, man. Don't bait me like that. Okay, they just want to get this over with. Timo's not moving right now? Okay, now he's going. Right.
Oh, okay. I'm like, are they just going to try and win without their Ryan? I was so confused. As, yeah, I mean, Stop skipping scripts. They're only looking to possibly force a draw in a map 3, but it is looking bleak for them.
Yeah. Keela already so high, but Caesar first again! The D.Va's mech is so low. Thirst, they're able to find 2 of their own, but Panda is in so much danger. Thirst with another, and they're able to just barely hold on.
Oh, they're going to have to get back very quickly because these respawners are coming in for Groats and they are ready to go as Keela's already going to put the aggression on.
Yeah, they're already back. Taking the high ground is Keela in this cafe. He's almost got the Graviton Surge. Timo has the Shatter, so we'll see what he can do with this. Oh, he's just going to get shattered himself. But Beat from GoGo going to come out. The Shatter hits Caesar. Grab out. Can they find anything with it without that cleaving damage of Timo? They will find Panda. The Transcendence comes out, but Avo will fall. It doesn't even matter. Oh, they were so close to this single tick that they needed, and now they are spread. Skyra able to find the Zenyatta somehow.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no way. Yeah, it doesn't happen. That's a wrapped up fight for Stop Skipping Scrims. And very impressive to have all this pressure applied to them. And now they've taken half the time off the clock.
Skyra's gonna get out.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I just think it's impressive that they've taken this much time off the clock. I thought this was gonna be easy cakewalk for Groats, but they are not going down without a fight.
Shatter, block. Bomb out from Willie, gonna find reviews. Caesar's so low, having to play so safe here. Skitsa will find Timo out. The beat comes out from Panda. Skitsa stays alive after getting so low. 90 seconds on the clock.
All right, 90 seconds left on the clock for Groats. We might be looking at a draw here, but Stop Skipping Scrims. They're going to have a rally and they're going to have a shatter. for Groats. You're going to come back. You're going to have a rally of your own, a Diva Bomb, a Shatter, and a Trans. You have to win this right here, right now. This is the last opportunity to not be going to a map 3.
Yeah, we see it. Looks like they're just trying to fight around this. Avo finds skips. Killa kills Beezer. Skyra on the Zenyatta, and that will be all she wrote.
Whew. Groats are moving on to the winners finals after a dominating 2-0, but man, I got to give it to Stop Skipping Scrims to get it that close to a draw after what you just went through on your attack. You know, just round of applause for them, man. Shout out.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really, really was looking forward to potentially a map 4. I don't.
Yeah. Just again, shout out to Groats once again. I mean, they've been such a dominating team on this EU PC side for the GOATS tournament. I mean, to see them in the winners finals, it's no surprise to me. I mean, but they've had some tough matches, as you mentioned that. I mean, I saw the tail end of the previous match. That was so close, that overtime victory. And then here, I mean, first map, Nepal, the first Sanctum, the first Shrine map was super close. And they even got a lot of their time taken off on that attack before they finally finished it off. So they're a battle-tested team. So whoever's on the other side for the winners bracket tomorrow, because they get a break now that they're in winners finals top 4, they better be ready.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a great one, I think. So, yeah, I believe we are done, maybe? Still getting word on if we have another match later, in just a few minutes. But yeah, it was a great match, dominating performance from Groats, living up to their name so close to the titular composition that we're running, and you know, making themselves known in this bracket for sure. And I'm
Could
gonna
not
be
ag-
honest, I was saying it earlier, but I would have loved to have been one of the first people to cast a goats push map, you know.
Yeah,
But
could not agree more. One thing we will say is at this point we're gonna throw it to a break, and if we will continue, we will bring you to the next game. And if we are going to end the stream for the day, we will come back on and give you guys like a conclusion, like a goodbye kind of thing. So we'll be right back. Just be on alert for us coming back.
Inside here, you know, you get an insight and you know something, you know, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, you know. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for your patience. Very unfortunate. We were going to bring you guys the Semper Shock versus Stop Skipping Scrims games, but unfortunately, some of the Semper Shock guys have to attend a Team Germany boot camp, so they're going to have to forfeit. Therefore, Stop Skipping Scrims will move on to the top 4.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to seeing how Stop Skipping Scrims was going to rebound after that brutal loss that they took. But you know, it happens. And if I'm being honest, the World Cup probably takes precedent over anything else. So it's unfortunate, but you know, it happens. But you know, don't be too sad, right? We'll be back later with our NA matches. So
Yeah,
that's something to
so
definitely look forward to.
exactly. So again, thank you everyone for tuning into the presentation. We'll be back at 4 p.m. EST for the presentation of the NAPC and the NA console side. It's been 2 Try Harder, joined by In the Fletch, and thanks for tuning in.